Republicans are one step closer to banning Obama's death panels. The House Thursday voted to repeal a key government board established by the Affordable Care Act that conservatives rallied against during the Obamacare debate 7 years ago out of concern that the provision could wind up rationing medical care for patients. The Independent Payment Advisory Board, famously called a death panel by its opponents, is a 15-member federal agency intended to reduce Medicare without taking away coverage or quality of care. The American Enterprise Institute has pointed out that the board emphasizes payment reductions at the expense of real Medicare reform. The constraints placed on what the board can recommend were not accidental. The authors of the ACA support restraining Medicare spending, but only with government-imposed payment restrictions, not financial incentives. The board can make recommendations about cuts to Medicare, sans congressional oversight or input. The group's proposals use fast-track protocols and require a 3/5 vote in the Senate for Congress to alter the kinds of cuts to Medicare. Even then, Congress may not change the amount of cuts made. If Congress does not act on the board's recommendations, they automatically go into effect. Additionally, the board is immune to judicial or administrative review. Tennessee Republican Rep. Phil Rowe introduced 2 pieces of legislation back in February to repeal the board. The first would enable the Senate to utilize a fast-track parliamentary mechanism to repeal the law that created the board. The second is the same bill Rowe proposed and the prior Congresses to repeal the board. Members voted 307 to 111 to do away with the board, but the future of the legislation in the Senate is still on shaky ground, as it is a standalone bill and would need 60 votes to end debate before a final simple majority passage vote. According to The Hill, no appointees are on IPAB presently, and budget experts predict that the budget won't be triggered until 2021 or 2022. This is the first attempt Congress has made to do away with the panel altogether.